हेलो फ्रेंड्स, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, नमस्ते, सत श्री अकाल। मैं आपका होस्ट और दोस्त स्टडी पॉइंट हाजिर हूँ एक नई वीडियो के साथ, हम जिसमें एक्सप्लेन करेंगे एक्ट 4 सीन 1 के बारे में। चलिए बिगिनिंग से बिगिन करते हैं। We now reach the dramatic high point of the play. In this scene, the matter of the bond reaches its crisis and its resolution. Sherlock is defeated, Antonio is saved, and the lovers are free to return to Belmont. Thus, Shakespeare gives us the happy ending which a romantic comedy requires. In the introductory speeches by the Duke and Antonio, we are reminded of the antithetical positions of the two adversaries. The Duke of Venice himself calls Sherlock an inhuman wretch and capable of pity, and Antonio characterizes himself as lost. Now, lawful means can save him sympathy and surrounds Antonio, but dramatic sympathy is also structured around the solitary figure of Sherlock. He is an intensely sympathetic figure here, alone in his solitude. Surrounded on all sides by his enemies, this will be even more striking at the moment of his defeat. By asking Sherlock to show mercy toward Antonio, the Duke provides Sherlock with a final opportunity to restate his position, and dramatically, Shakespeare prolongs the suspense of whether or not Sherlock will actually demand Antonio's life. Throughout this scene, Sherlock is asked, both by the court and by his opponents, why he refuses to relent toward Antonio. In each case, his answers are themselves unanswerable. He stands upon the law. The law is a creation of those who are now asking him to break it. Sherlock's principles are as good and better than his inquisitors. It is under their law that he has sworn to have the due and forfeit of my bond. However, Sherlock goes beyond this end. In effect, he admits that his desire for revenge lies in the lodged hate that he bears towards Antonio. Although he professes to stand on the letter of the law, Sherlock reveals quite clearly that his real motive has nothing to do with right or wrong, justice or injustice, but with his desire to destroy another human being, a Christian who has publicly scorned and spit upon him. This admission is important since it figures later in Portia's play in her powerful quality of mercy speech. Antonio knows that mercy is unlikely for Sherlock, and Shakespeare tightens the tension of this scene by having Antonio beseech Bassanio to stop trying to win any sympathy from Sherlock. It is no use Sherlock insists upon having justice carried out according to the law. Yet, while Sherlock is demanding justice, Shakespeare makes absolutely clear to the audience that Sherlock's inhumanity is obsession with revenge, is what motivates his demands when Sherlock says the pound of flesh is dearly bought, is mine, and I will have it. He is not speaking of right anymore, he is demanding his enemy's blood. Tension increases further when Neretia as the law clerk is announced and she presents the letter from Bellario to the Duke. Tension increases almost unbearably as the Duke reads the letter and Sherlock pulls out his knife and begins to sharpen it on the sole of his shoe. It is an almost melodramatic touch, giving Sherlock's inhumanity powerful, visible from. Sherlock now seems in complete command, secure in the knowledge that, legally, he has bested everyone in the courtroom. He, an alien Jew in a Christian community that has spurned him, has triumphed over prejudice and his own in a Venetian court because of binding integrity of Venetian law. When Portia is brought on in disguise, Shakespeare sustains the tension still longer by having her question the legality of the bond. Antonio may not have agreed formally, or he may have agreed to another set of conditions. Her question, "Do you confess the bond?" emphasizes once more that no avenue of escape is possible for Antonio. He answers that he agreed to the bond. The quality of mercy, a speech that follows is the last play. Seemingly, Portia sees no other hope for Antonio. Thus, she confirms the decree established, and this gives her yet one moment more to think some new strategy. In a moment of inspiration, she asks to see the bond. She inspects it and she discerns a flaw. Antonio's flesh may be forfeit, but nothing has been stipulated concerning the letting of blood. Thus, she, like Shylock, decides to stand on the absolute letter of Venetian law. Shylock may indeed claim a pound of flesh to be by him cut off nearest the merchant's heart. She can declare this, knowing full well that Shylock's knife will never touch Antonio. This explains her surprisingly legal coldness. Portia knows exactly what she is doing at this point, however, the audience doesn't, and this, of course, adds to the tension of this scene. उम्मीद करता हूँ आपकी वीडियो अच्छी लगी होगी। अगर ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी है प्लीज़ लाइक शेयर एंड कमेंट, और ऐसी ही और वीडियो देखने के लिए प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल स्टडी पॉइंट। मैंने जितनी भी वीडियो है मेरी सबका लिंक नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में दे दिया है, आप वहाँ जाके विजिट करें। थैंक यू गाइज फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो।